undoubtedly a poor season for the Arizona Cardinals, but there's one guy that could probably hold their head high from his performances during the season, and that's fourth-year man Zach Allen. Going into a contract year, Allen really produced on what was a poor team with 6 sacks and a number of pass breakups. And I think the pass breakup side of things, that's probably his best attribute, and an attribute that goes sort of unnoticed in general for a lot of defensive linemen. And he's had the luxury of learning this skill off a certain JJ Watt, which has been great for him and his development. Over his 4 years in the league, he's provided steady production and steady development, and this has been made more evident in the last couple of years, as I mentioned, under the tutelage of now retired JJ Watt. But going into this next season for the Broncos, if you are a Broncos fan, then I would be very happy at the prospect of watching Zach Allen in the midst of that defensive line. I love the way Nick Bolton plays. He's one of those linebackers that just seems like he can pop up all over the field, sideline to sideline, and he's just got that power, that strength to pop a bloke as well. Bolton was one of the steals of the 2021 draft for me, and he's been great ever since entering the league on what is a fantastic Kansas City defense. Bolton only got better in his sophomore campaign, obtaining 180 tackles, which was second in the league, and on top of this, getting 2 sacks and 2 interceptions, while just in general being an absolute menace for opposing offensive coordinators to deal with. Bolton is the type of guy that any team would want on their defense because he can come up clutch on a crucial down to make an epic stop. This was on full display in the Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. He was the one to really keep them within reaching distance for the Kansas City Chiefs to ultimately get over the top and win the most recent Super Bowl. So part of this pick was me thinking, who really deserves to be mentioned on this Raiders defense? And then the other half of me was like, well, Max Crosby's there, and honestly, he's that good, and I still think maybe slightly underappreciated, so I'm going to talk about him anyway. Already one of the premier rushers in this league, and maybe too overqualified for a video such as this, but the main point I want to raise with him is that his intelligence on the field seems to have skyrocketed more recently. I feel like Max Crosby has been able to diagnose plays a lot better than in previous seasons. He's able to read the offense before a play has even begun, and even when it is in motion, he has a lot of tools in the kit to use and use effectively. In terms of his statistics, this high level of recognition has translated to 3 forced fumbles and a career high in tackles for loss with 22, as well as a career high for sacks with 12.5. So some great all-round stats for a great premier rusher of this league, Max Crosby. JC Jackson was one of the biggest coups of last season before it began, after his stellar year with the Patriots, but after a slow start during those first 4 games and then ultimately receiving a season-ending injury, it was left up to the other blokes to step up in his place, and so did Michael Davis. Coming off his worst season in 2021, Michael Davis had a real point to prove and big shoes to fill, obviously with high-name recruit JC Jackson out, and he really did this to a great standard. He had career best in yards against with 446, and on top of this made 12 pass breakups throughout the season.